You know the feeling? You've got that huge paper due, you sit down, you open your laptop, and you tell yourself, okay, just 5 minutes on TikTok, just to clear my head. And then, an hour later, you kind of snap out of it. You've seen a million dance challenges and life hacks, but that document is still staring back at you, totally blank. So why does this happen? And what is that endless scroll actually doing to our ability to focus? Well, today we're going to dive into the science behind the scroll.
Everything we're talking about today comes from a 2023 study published in the journal Frontiers in Psychology. Researchers went out and surveyed over 1,000 university students to figure out the exact connection between their short-form video habits and, their struggles with actually getting work done.
So the big question the researchers wanted to answer is one that, let's be honest, a lot of us can relate to. Why is it so incredibly hard to just put the phone down and hit the books? And it turns out the answer is a lot more complicated than just, oh, I have no willpower.
All right, so first up, the study looked at the most obvious link here, the simple act of procrastinating by scrolling. We've all been there, that quick break that somehow eats your entire afternoon.
And we're not talking about a small problem. Some studies say that academic procrastination is an issue for as many as 70% of college students. So yeah, if this sounds familiar to you, you are definitely not alone. So, no big surprise here, the researchers confirmed their first idea. They found a direct, positive link. Basically, the more addicted a student was to short-form videos, the more they procrastinated. We're trading that long-term slog of studying for the quick, easy dopamine hit of a video. But that's only where the story begins.
See, the connection is way deeper than just the time you lose scrolling. The study found something really crucial happening behind the scenes. The addiction doesn't just steal your time, it actively messes with your ability to use the time you have left.
So what's the hidden mechanism? What is that bridge that connects a scrolling habit to a blank page in your Word document? Well, the study pinpointed a key mental function that gets caught right in the crossfire.
And that bridge is something called attentional control. The best way to think about it is like a mental spotlight. It's your brain's ability to shine that spotlight on what you need to do, like writing that essay, and keep it there even when a million other things are trying to pull your focus away.
And this lays out the full pathway perfectly. It's a chain reaction, right? First, getting hooked on the super fast, constant stimulation of these videos, that weakens your mental spotlight. And then with that spotlight flickering and weak, you're way more likely to put off your work. So the videos don't just distract you, they literally wear down your ability to resist distraction in the first place. Okay, but this is where the study gets really fascinating. Because it turns out this effect isn't the same for everybody. The researchers found this one surprising personality trait that completely flips the whole thing on its head.
And that trait is called boredom proneness. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like, how easily you get bored. Now, you'd think that people who get bored easily would be the most at risk, right? They'd be the ones who just can't resist the endless novelty of a TikTok feed. Well, the study found the exact opposite.
Here's the breakdown. Students with low boredom proneness, these are people who are generally content, they don't need constant stimulation. They were actually more likely to get stuck in the algorithm's echo chamber, just passively scrolling through the same old stuff. But the students with high boredom proneness, they actually got bored with the app's repetitive suggestions. Their constant need for something new actually pushed them to break free from the scroll more often.
This chart just shows it so clearly. Look at the damage done to attentional control. For students with low boredom proneness, video addiction deals a massive blow to their focus. But for those with high boredom proneness, the damage is way less. It's a total paradox. Being easily bored can actually protect your attention span from the worst effects of these apps. And the study puts it right out there. If you're the kind of person who doesn't get bored easily, you are actually at a higher risk of having your focus damaged by a scrolling habit. I mean, that is a seriously counterintuitive finding.
So what do we do with all this? Understanding the how and the who is affected actually gives us some really good clues on how to start fighting back against that procrastination scroll.
So let's just boil it down. What are the big takeaways here? First, we have to realize that it's the students who don't get bored easily who are, weirdly enough, the most vulnerable here. It seems like it's that passive, echo chamber design of the apps it's doing the real damage to our focus. The study suggests things like mindfulness could help all of us strengthen that mental spotlight. And all of this leads to a really surprising final thought. Maybe, just maybe, being bored isn't the enemy we always thought it was.
So this leaves us with a pretty big question to think about.
In a world that's designed to fill every single empty second of our day, these platforms are chipping away at our ability to concentrate on what actually matters. Maybe the most powerful move against procrastination isn't some new productivity hack, but something much simpler, just learning how to be bored again.